All right, welcome, Becka Hays. How are you?
Great.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to
Yeah.
hear.
I'm
I
alive. We'll put it that way. I'm alive.
I have I have quite a few topics I want to get in touch with you and talk about.
Hmm.
One topic in particular is what's been going on in your personal life.
Okay.
Uh, you're pretty much an open book, and if nobody knows that, they can just check out your Instagram or your podcast.
Yeah. I seriously, I don't hold back at all. I'm very
No,
authentic and real. So,
you have certainly lived up to that.
well, thank you.
So I want to start off and say that you no longer are with iHeartRadio.
Mm-mm.
Is that right?
That's no done deal. I'm my own person now.
You're your own person now,
I am. Yeah.
and I guess the real question is,
You can ask anything, Jeremy.
okay, why is
Why? Like what
and I
happened?
have yeah, like what happened? Because
Hmm.
I know that you got a fans only page because of the radio show,
OnlyFans.
right? They were
OnlyFans.
talking about it and you guys did it for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you started doing pretty well on fans only or OnlyFans, whatever it's
Hmm.
called. And then all of a sudden you no longer have a job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good way of thinking and putting it. I don't think that had actually anything to do with me being let go. It does seem like
Okay.
that because what I started it, I started the OnlyFans page. I think what was it, a month and a half or 2 months, 2 months prior to being let go from iHeartRadio.
Right.
Um, it was kind of a radio show bit that just turned into something that I actually started to enjoy doing for a little bit, and I actually enjoyed exploring that side of me. That's coming to a halt at the end of this month. By the way, I know there's gonna be a lot of disappointed people out there, but
So
I'm
so
yeah.
you were doing that and you say it's ending at this month. Why is it ending?
Well, you're actually the first to know because I'm actually making the big announcement tomorrow, and depending on when you air this,
Well,
it might.
it's being aired tonight, but
Oh, tonight? Okay, so then everybody's gonna know this prior to my
we got
announcement tomorrow.
we got the exclusive. Nice.
Damn, yeah, you guys are the first. So I am actually starting. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to call it yet, and I know I'm launching it tomorrow. That's my last little hang up. But basically, it's like the Becka Hays Club, and it's my own personal website. Um, there's a lot of incentives to join this club, and instead of having my OnlyFans and people paying, to go into there and all they get is like the more sensual side of me, you get basically every side of me. You get the fun, the goofy. You get there's still going to be a little bit of a sensuality side in there, but not extreme. There'll be probably no nudity because
Right.
this is going out to everybody, not just mainly men. And I'm not saying mainly men are the ones that view me in OnlyFans. I do have some ladies there and swingers or whatever. But this is like reaching out to everybody. And we're going to do like $1,000 giveaways for 1 month. Like each month is going to be different giveaways. Um,
Wow.
just a lot of, you have dinner with me. I go out and buy you dinner. You get to, like, I fly to you, whatever state you're in. And depending, with the mandates and rules and stuff, if I can get to you, I'll go there. Or I'll just, send you a voucher you to go out with your friends and stuff. But have dinner with me. There's just a lot of
That's pretty
incentives.
cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to have like, a spiritual tab basically, so you get to meditate with me and go through my spiritual journey, everything that I'm doing in my life, from all the way to meditating to learning about crystals, just all that side of me. So it's just really cool that it's going to be very exclusive. It's stuff that you won't get to see anywhere else. Not on my Instagram, not on my YouTube page, nothing. And so it'll be fun. It's a way that I can give back and then also receive, I guess. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Because obviously I still have to make a living. But it's something that I can give back to my fans and my
Right.
loyal
Right.
fans. And so I'm really excited. So I'm launching that actually tomorrow. People will be able to sign up. I'll send you the link and you can share it with people if they want. But so yeah, so that's why I'm letting
Yeah.
OnlyFans go, which um, it's a good transition. It's not to be sad. It's you. People love the funny side of me, anyways, and half the people that are in there. they're like, we don't care if you show your boobs or not, Beck. We're your fan. We love you for who you are. And so that was really, pretty awesome to hear. So yeah, but I don't believe that I was let go from iHeartRadio because of that. I think it has more to do with politics. To be honest, I was very outspoken, as you know me, Jeremy. We've been friends for some time now, and obviously, with especially last year, with everything going on in the world, with COVID, with just all the shadiness going on, I would see it and I call it out, and then I would try to say something on air, and if it did slip out where they didn't catch it, because we had to stay at home for a few months, and so it was pre-recording the show. So if there's
Right.
something that they didn't like, they could edit it out. But when we went back into the studio for like a month or two before I actually got let go, we're live, and so what I say went live, and there were some things that the other two hosts that they're more on the left, which I just for the record, everybody that's listening to this, I'm not like, if you're a Democrat, I'm against you, or if you're Republican, I'm for you. If you're a good person, then I'm for you. I don't care what the fuck you practice, what you believe in. If you're an actual good person, then I stand behind you. And if you have logic too. So but they were thinking, listening to the mainstream media and telling people that they need to mass shame people, just ridiculous things, spreading more hate than love, actually. And I was just kind of had enough. And I would randomly say my thoughts, and then sometimes I would take it too far, according to them. And and I get in trouble. I was told multiple times to shut my mouth, to shut up. A lot of mental abuse actually in that work atmosphere. But I was like, if I'm going to hang with the boys, I can't complain. That was my mentality. And I'm not, I'm not
Yeah,
going
but
to.
I mean, they didn't seem like they didn't seem like real boys if they were being offended by what you were saying.
Oh, exactly. I can't even like understand them. I can't understand their thinking, because one minute, they're like for something, and the next their actions speak differently. It's like, pick something. Like, if you're going to
Right.
be this person, or if you're going to be for something, like, just pick that, instead of like saying that you're for this, but then you change your mind. Like, it just drove me nuts. I didn't know what, like, depending on, like, are you taking steroids? Like, are you like, it just seemed like it was really erotic. Like, it was just all over the place. And I was very depressed there. I had my first anxiety attack working at that job, and that was a few months before I got let go. But yeah, so I think, they said due to downsizing is why we're letting you go. And I think that might be partial true. I mean, obviously, iHeart was letting a ton of people go that week. They did cut back a lot. Some of our shows, I know that a show got canceled in Nashville. We were in Nashville. We were in
Yeah.
Memphis and Oklahoma. I know the Nashville show got canceled just a couple weeks, or maybe it was like 3 weeks prior to me being let go. So they were doing cutbacks.
Right.
But I don't think that was the full thing. I think, I don't know, maybe both or one of the hosts, my co hosts, complained about me. I really believe that happened. And I think they took that in consideration and let me go, because
So
I went against the grain.
right. So my question is, now I follow you on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, whatever, and you are you said you don't care if you're on the left or the right. As long as you're a good
Yeah.
person, you're for them.
Mm-hmm.
But your speech is mostly more right leaning. So when I look at
Yeah.
you, I see you and I see what you're saying and things like that, and I think you are like an up and coming conservative spokesperson, in my opinion.
Yeah. You
Do
could,
you do
I mean,
you do
you
you
could,
look at that?
I guess I would lean more towards that side for sure. Yeah.
Like
I
you're
mean,
you're like the new was her name Tommy Lauren or something like that, or
oh,
whatever her name
Tommy.
is?
Yeah, I,
Tommy, yeah.
I love her. She's
Yeah.
she's pretty. She's intense, but I do love
Yeah,
her.
well,
She's completely like, and I feel like I have some. I do see myself slipping into her role sometimes, where I'm just like, if you're sick, stay the fuck home. Like, there's the logic. Why would you make the majority wear mask when the minority are the ones that could possibly get sick? Like, there's just things that aren't logic, and I will not stand behind non-logic things, and I won't comply when it's not logical and when I feel like my freedom's being taken away. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that brings me to the mask issue that you shared a story on Instagram where you were a guest speaker at a local. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like a rally or anything. It was just like a.
Oh, it was a showing
It was
of a.
was it even anti-mask? I don't even know.
So no, it was one of my friends, Eric Musos. He helped organize this documentary called Non-Essential, and he's been going around to, I mean, majority of our movie theaters, because they're losing tons of businesses because, or
Yeah.
business, excuse me, because no one's putting out movies, and so they're losing all this business and people are scared, and so he's been really targeting, whatever theaters will allow this documentary to be shown in. We kind of congregate to that, and he's already done like 25 different theaters throughout Utah, and I think in like other states as well. And so it's really catching on. It's an awesome movement. But this documentary, it's not just about not wearing masks. Obviously, that's part of it. But it's about like all the shady stuff that's going on in politics and governors that are telling us to do one thing but doing another. It's it's
Yeah.
it's basically exposing all the fraud and showing that little by little our freedom is being taken away. And whether you believe that or not, I mean, it starts with the mask, and now they're saying we're double mask. Like, what? Like, people really, are you going to double mask up? Like, what? Like that, it's a circus, and we're the monkeys right now. And so that's what that
Yeah.
documentary is about. It's just basically showing it all. And then also along the way, he's trying to help small businesses survive. Like a lot of these events he's put on, he's invited 15, maybe 16 different small businesses so they can have little pop-up tents and sell their things. And so they're able to pay their rent for the next, I don't know, month or so, or a couple months. And so it's really an amazing thing he's doing. But he asked me to come to the one that was in Price, Utah, which is about 2 hours from me. And he asked me to speak at that one. We just recently got connected. And so I spoke at it, and I basically just shared my story and what has happened to me, and how enough is
Yeah.
enough, and how I'm going to stick up for myself and my kids.
Yeah. So, can you share just like a tad bit? Because I know it's a long story.
Hmm.
I mean, not a long story, but it's a in depth. You can go in depth there. I just share a little bit of what happened, because I didn't know the story, and
Hmm.
then I listened to that whole thing, and I was like, holy shit! I didn't realize that happened to you.
Hmm.
So I was just curious if you can share a
Well,
little bit so the listeners know what was
yeah.
going on.
In a nutshell, obviously I'm divorced. I'm a single parent. I have two little boys, 6 and 5 years old. And my oldest son, Boston, he's 6. He was in this program. It was the Lehigh Legacy Center program where he'd play basketball. Our governor's pretty strict, not as strict as your governor, but ours is still pretty strict. And they made it to where only one parent can go watch, one parent per child. So one parent can go watch their kid play basketball, no other siblings, like just ridiculous rules. I mean, when you can go into Walmart, same town, and everybody's near each other and next to strangers. It's not just families being with families. It doesn't make any logic, no sense. And so it was my weekend. I had my son and I needed to take him to the basketball game. And this is at the time, this happened a couple months ago. This is the time where I would comply with the masks. I thought they were stupid, but I'm like, you know what, whatever, it's not hurting anything. I don't want to cause a scene. And
Right.
so I took my two sons and myself. We both had masks on, or all three of us had masks on. We go through the doors. They check our temperatures. We're fine. We're wearing our masks. And then we go through the gymnasium door. There's a lady at the door saying, I can't come in there with both my kids. I basically have to choose a child. The other one can't come in. And at the time, my
That's
4-year-old,
ridiculous.
yeah, it's splitting, it's dividing us, it's dividing families up. It's just absolutely insane and no logic behind it. And so I said, well, sorry, you're going to have to call the cops then, because I'm going in to watch my son play basketball. I paid for him to play basketball. And we've already missed a couple weeks because, the governor at the time put on an extra, like, heavier mandate saying, like, cancel all sporting events or whatever. So, I mean, we haven't played for a couple weeks now. So I'm like, no, I'm watching my son play basketball. I paid for this. So I sat in the bleacher with all the other parents and my son right next to me. and my other son on the court playing basketball. Well, she came in with reinforcement, tried to scare me. Again, she told me to leave. I said, no, I'm not leaving. And then she grabbed the basketball from the game and said, well, no one's playing then if you don't go. And then all the parents
What an
behind me,
asshole.
yeah, all the parents, she was on a power trip for sure. And I'm done with that excuse, by the way. They're just doing their job. Like, if I ever have to be like that and enforce a mask mandate on something, I'm quitting the job. I don't give a fuck. I will
Right.
find another job that appreciates me and what I stand for. And so, anyways, and so I sat there for a little bit and I looked over at my son and I knew it was going to be a hard decision because he's been dying to play basketball, hasn't played it in weeks. Yes, it's fortunate that we were able to play basketball, but this is just pathetic. It shouldn't be splitting families up like this. And yeah, so I grabbed my kids and I left, but I wish I would have stayed longer. I wish I wouldn't have actually left, but it was just harder. It was hard because, it's just me and my two boys. It's not like I had, a husband
Right.
or, to help back me up because I felt like I have these two little guys looking at me, which I needed to set that example for them to see, to show that you need to stay up, you need to stand up for your rights and what you believe in.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I heard that story, I felt bad. I was like, man, that's like a terrible thing to have to
Mm-hmm.
go through. And I mean, it's a terrible thing to have to go through it with your kids seeing it. And
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to stand up for your kids, and the money. I mean, I would have threw a fit. I personally, if I had to be there, I would say, okay, so what do you want me to do with my other son? Do you want
Mm-hmm.
me to just drop off the one kid who's 6 years old and just let him play and hope for the best?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I leave the other kid in the car? Like, what are we doing here? What do you expect me
Well,
to do as a single mother? You know?
exactly. And we shouldn't have to choose that. Like, it's my weekend with my boys. I want to watch my kid play. His little brother wants to watch him play. I'm not going to, and I just got let go from my job. I'm not going to go hire a babysitter, pay a babysitter money when they can be with their family. This is
Right.
it's a family thing. Watching sports together and letting your kids play. It's a family thing. It brings families together, and what they're doing is dividing us. And if we don't stand up for it right now, it's just going to keep slipping out from underneath our feet, just slowly, slowly, until we don't even know what the fuck happened. Amen. Sorry, this is a very passionate subject about, I mean, everything, Jeremy. So I'm very passionate.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay.
I that's why I wanted to have you on. I wanted to hear,
Yeah.
your side of things and everything else like that. Uh, and not to switch it up, but
No, feel
to make
free.
it a little bit lighter.
Hmm.
See, you have a new man in your life.
I do. Amazing, man. Actually, I didn't even know these ones existed. Other than you, of course, Jeremy. I was always
What do you
like,
mean?
well, no, I was always like, call Fran. How did you snatch
Okay.
one of those?
All
But
right.
she's pretty
Good.
amazing, and you
Good.
guys are both amazing.
Um,
But yeah,
real.
you're welcome.
Um, so I have to ask. I mean,
Hmm.
your fans are probably going to be wondering this. OnlyFans is ending
Hmm.
right when this guy starts coming along. Is there something to do there?
You know, to be completely honest, and you will only get honesty with me, and you know that.
Yeah.
Um, it honestly has nothing to do with him. He and I even said that before we were we
Cool.
were friends before we dated, and I think that's why it's worked out so well. I've actually never been friends with a guy then dated him. We were friends for months and months before we even thought about dating each other. We were both like pretty just kind of I mean, he was really against it. He's been through some gnarly relationships, and I asked him. This is when we started to recognize that we were starting to have feelings towards one another. And I said, I want you to know, me as a person, I'm a very free spirit. I like to do what I want. Obviously, I will always, if I have someone, with me, I always take their feelings in consideration and respect their feelings as well. But this is who I am. And I do have a sensual side about me, and I do I like to show it off sometimes, and I like to explore that. And it's a little bit, when people say that I have OnlyFans, just to let everybody know, not that I'm making excuses for anything. I'm just saying, I've only gone topless in that. Like, I've never actually shown the downstairs. Like, it's my preference. Like, that's something that I wanted to keep to myself. Like, I chose,
Right.
that's my thing.
It's
I'm
private.
being, yeah, that's just something I wanted to keep to myself or whoever I'm with. That was obviously prior to him, prior to any relationship. That was just my thing. And I didn't mind going topless. And I saw it as a business. I was getting paid to, produce these fun, sexy pictures, which I loved doing already. Why not get paid for them? Like, it's a great
Right.
business. And I made some really good money. Like, it's a great side hustle. And so I asked him, I said, are you going to have a problem with that? And he's just like, I love who you are right now, and I don't want to change anything about you. And if that makes you happy, then you continue to do that. And, we've been dating for a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? He's a great man. We've been dating for a couple months now, and hasn't like been bothered by it, hasn't asked me like, oh, when are you going to quit or anything like that. It's just, it's actually my manager that approached me, Matt. He's actually like, let's transition this. He's like, because I was getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of like, I've explored that side. Um, I'm kind of like, I'm done. I'm
You can only
finishing
take
up.
so many pictures of your boobs, right? Just like one of
Exactly.
these, one of
Well, and then of
these.
course people, exactly, you got, I'm squishing them down on tables. I mean, I can only be so
Right.
creative.
You're breaking
And
watermelons.
yeah, slamming it on well, mine's more like kiwis. Um, but I just kind of, yeah. And when you start to go down this road, and it is a very slippery slope, because I've gotten like amazing offers if I just show the downstairs. Like, I've got $1,000, like just saying, please just send one picture of this. I'll send you $1,000. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's not. I'm not compromising that.
Wow.
My worth to me, that's worth to me, and I don't want to compromise that, and I don't want to be tempted to do that anymore. And so that's part of the reason I'm just ready to
I
be
mean,
done with that side.
kudos to you for sticking to that. I like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I've never been that type of person where you can buy me. I'm not. That's not me. So yeah, so my manager brought it up. He's like, let's transition into this. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, I like it. And then we've been like kind of workshopping with it and playing around with it. And I'm really excited about this, the Becka Hays Club, or whatever the fuck I'm going to call it. I think I have till tonight to figure it out, but I guess maybe that for now.
We're just gonna call it the Becka Hays Club because
Well, I don't
you
know. Like,
announced it here first.
I feel like there should be like a cooler name than that. The Becka Hays Club. I mean, isn't there a cooler name? I don't know. I can't think of one right now.
I
You
don't
have to
know.
ask your
I
people.
don't know.
Maybe they can help me out. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for this transition. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm goofy. I have a really. I mean, that's mainly who I am. Is just a big goof and
I
quirky, and yeah.
I see in the future if this Becka Hayes Club takes off, I see
Hmm.
in the future you're gonna have like a Chrisley Knows Best or whatever that stupid show is. You're gonna have one of those reality shows where it's gonna be you, your business manager, and your two kids and your new man
Hmm.
all in your house jerking, not jerking around, but joking around and having a good time. I think that's in the future.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I actually, you're probably not too far off. I totally could see that. I just like to make people laugh, and even if they're not laughing, I'm laughing, and then that's a win for me, because I'm getting that laughter that I need.
Right, right. So, and then now transitioning even
Hmm.
more,
Hmm.
right? We're just going from topic to topic to
I
topic.
feel like you need a stogie in your hand right now.
You
I feel like you're like sitting back.
like
Where's your cigar?
what's on the agenda? What?
I said I feel like you need a cigar in your hand right now, a stogie.
Yeah,
Just the way you're sitting back, old man Rivers over here. Where's your bourbon?
I got no. I just got my bubbly. I got my bubbly. I want to be sponsored by bubbly. I drink like 80 of these a day. It's
You
amazing.
should be. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to be for sure.
I mean, I don't know if they're willing to, sponsor a guy that has 200 Instagram followers
They
and
should. They should. You got some great guests on your show, and you're pretty amazing,
but
Jeremy.
no, what I wanted to ask was what I wanted to ask was if you like you're fully invested in this Becca Hayes Media, right?
Hmm.
Like that's your whole project now, and you're doing your Becca Hayes Show podcast.
Hmm.
Um, you're going to do the Becca Hayes Club, and then
Hmm.
what else are you going to be doing? Are you going to be publishing like any other podcasts for other people? Are you like, like what is Becka Hays Media or whatever you're calling it? What does that entail?
So, I mean, we kind of have a few different parts going on, and we have a lot of stuff in the making. I don't really even know what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not, but for now, I mean, obviously the Becka Hays Show, like that's the meat of it. That's what really makes me come alive. And then then we have the Becka Hays Club, which is a way that I can give back and really show my friends or my fans that I appreciate them, and it shows a next level commitment from them as well. And then also we have, and I don't really, I don't even think I've shared this with anybody. But my company is called the Becka Hays Group. And so what that is, and that's a thing that is going to grow. So that's going to be a timely thing. And what I would like to do, and this is again helping, I'm all about helping people as well succeed. It's not just like me, me, me. I want to be able to put people's businesses that I approve, that I like cinematographers, photographers, like all the media world. It's like endless, and be
Right.
able to put that on my website. And so what my website will eventually be kind of like a one-stop shop. They go to that, then they're like, oh, okay, Becka refers this person, this person, this person. This person's great for wedding photography. This person's great for film and or podcasts or whatever. Like it's going to be a hub basically, and that's in the works. That's going to be a little bit more like down the road. And then it's like I have my hand in some obviously merch. I have my hand in like an energy drink that I want to create. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff that I want. I'm not just like, let's just stop here. Like I'm constantly thinking, I want to evolve. I want to keep going. I want to keep rolling with the times, and I want to make things better.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. It froze there for a second.
Oh,
I
you're
heard the
fine.
last bit there, but so I mean, that's pretty awesome that you're going down a lot of these different roads. Look at this. Look at
It's
this
freaking
cat.
these. I have a farm
You
here.
said you didn't show your pussy.
No,
Oh.
look at that. Give me $1,000. Give us $1,000.
Oh. Come on, that was a
Shit.
good one.
That was really good. That was really good.
No. So my thing is, I think it's really cool. I'll let you in on a little secret here. It's so expensive to go down the food or beverage road. So just be aware of that. I have a friend who actually I had on the podcast. Her name is Nora. She created her own energy bar or nutrition bar, and it is honestly it's delicious. It's called the Green Dream,
Yeah.
and she spent tons of money. She liquidated all of her assets and went full into it, and
Wow.
it's starting to pay off for her. But I'm
Yeah.
like, holy crap, man!
Yeah.
She jumped headfirst into the
That's
the
awesome.
entrepreneurial pool. So if you ever have questions about it, I can put you in touch with her because she's a really cool person, very business minded. So
Well,
we can.
I have so my manager actually has so he used to be a couple, he owned a couple gyms. He's been in the fitness industry, like all that. So he actually has his hand already into that, like I think
Hmm.
he's even created energy bars. And so that's the only reason why we've actually talked about that. And I'm like, I need an energy drink. So even if we just create it for ourselves and maybe make a little extra and be like, okay, if you guys want to try this, we could sell it and see how it goes instead of like jumping all in. It's more of a side thing. And for
Right.
us, and obviously, like, we would drink it on our show and like drink it in the mornings. And if it's something that I live by and it's healthy, because I'm a health freak, I'm into all the
Yep.
organic thing, I don't do that sugar free shit unless it's like, xylitol or something that's healthy. And so it'd have to be through all those standards. But yeah, so that's something that we've been discussing. But he's already kind of done that route already and knows that route.
That's awesome.
So that's why we've been discussing it.
Speaking of right, so speaking of healthy, I recently purchased a sauna, and I need to. Well, you have two cats?
It's pussies everywhere.
How many? How many cats do you have?
I have 2 cats. I have 6 chickens. I had 7. Goldie died. Bless her. Rest in peace, Goldie. Bless her heart. And then I
You
also have
totally
2.
jacked that up. You went here, you went
Well,
here, you went here, then you went here.
obviously,
I don't get
obviously, I'm not
that.
the religious type, so I just know it's somewhere over here. Yeah, but and I have 2 dogs, so I told you I have a fucking farm. And I've been in the market to buy a teapot or a teacup pig. Those are freaking I love to get my hands on one of those, but they're like $4,000. So I got to be wait till
There's
I'm
no
rolling in the
such
money.
thing. There's no such thing as a teacup pig.
Yes,
They're
there
just
is.
they're just underfed pigs.
Shut up! You're gonna make me cry right now.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna send you a whole article.
Stop it.
Whitney Cummings, who's a hilarious
Yeah, I
comedian,
know
female
Whitney.
comedian,
We're actually friends, by the
she
way.
talks about it. How
Uh-huh.
like there's no like it's just an underfed pig, and they do
I
that.
don't really. That's bullshit.
They they do that to sucker people like you in.
Why isn't PETA all over this shit? That's bullshit.
Because PETA only cares about certain things. Come on now.
Fur.
Yeah, they only care about that. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not
Don't
gonna go
even get
down
me
that
started
road.
on that shit.
We're not going down that road.
Oh, is that where you draw the line, Becca? Is PETA?
Yeah.
You're afraid of PETA, but you're not afraid of everybody else? By the
Uh,
way, can you just go ahead and share?
what?
Can you wait? Can you share the nonsense that you were spewing about how you didn't want to go ahead and you're like, so we're gonna do this on Zoom or are we gonna do it on something else? I was like,
Oh
we're gonna do
yeah,
it
yeah,
on
sure. I would love to do that. Actually, thank you, Jeremy, for bringing that up. We are
yeah,
on.
because we're on Riverside.fm,
Okay.
which is a podcast recording. It's like a virtual podcast studio for visual.
Zoom's better.
I disagree. I like this.
Well,
And
let me explain myself, Jeremy. So you
yeah,
actually
please do.
we were talking
Please
about
do.
doing this podcast a couple weeks ago. And I love to get feedback from people that are in the podcast community. So I said, "Well, what do you use to do your your podcasts from a distance?" And you said riverside.fm and you sent me the link. So I clicked on it and I was like, "Okay, I trust Jeremy." So I was like, "Let me see what's going on." The first thing that pops up when you click on Riverside FM is a freaking video of Hillary Clinton. Okay, again, I don't give a fuck that she's a Democrat. I give a fuck because she's a freaking Satanist, pedophile person, and I'm not gonna support a person like that. And obviously, she's got her hand in this, whatever this is, Riverside.fm. And so I refuse to download this. I know I'm on it right now, but only because Jeremy's making me. I've said my said.
Yeah, so I'm not using it because I think Hillary is a fucking whack job, but I'm not using it because of Hillary Clinton.
Of course not, but you're supporting her.
No, all they did was they used her clout to promote Riverside.fm. She used it at one point, so they go ahead and they exploited it. Like if you and I become huge, I mean you're already huge, but if I ever become huge and then they go ahead and say, "Holy shit, that Jeremy guy, he uses Riverside FM. We're going to use a clip of him in this."
Well, they've
using
lost
it.
me because they decided to use Hillary Clinton. So there you go. Sorry, you're bad. Riverside.fm.
Well, I'm gonna have to try out Zoom then.
I actually really do like Zoom. I've done a couple podcasts with Zoom, and I was down in the basement doing them, and they did just amazing, amazing.
But I like this because it's not the typical Zoom thing. This will record, so it records on my computer, it records on your computer.
On Zoom.
Not only does it record video and audio on my computer, but video and audio on your computer. Then it uploads it to the website. Then it also has a recording of the thing on the actual website as well.
That's too many steps. You don't need that, and you don't need this going to the other person. If you want them to have it, then you send it to them. Like, I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't want it. I know. No.
Well,
I don't like
maybe
it.
Maybe I'm just very advanced.
You might be, and I'm fine with living in the old age.
You watch. I'm gonna get the Becka Hays Show to be using Riverside.
No,
Riverside
you're
is
not.
gonna pay me.
The
when
Becka
I
Hays
convert you
Show
over.
will not be using Riverside.fm. No, thank you. We like our Zoom.
We'll see. We'll just we'll beg to differ there.
Which I'm sure if I dig deep enough, watch you. I bet Zoom is like controlled by all the elites as well too. So I mean, what the fuck
A
isn't
hundred
these
percent.
days?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
I bet you. I bet you. Zoom's the one who created the Wuhan virus.
It's probably. I see Jeremy. Jeremy, you don't even understand how many stores I've like been boycotting. Like it's just I'm to the point where I'm about ready to starve to death because I shop at like I think no, two stores is Smith's in Utah, and then there's an organic Whole Food store that I shop at that's locally owned because I want to give them my business, and I refuse to give Costco my business anymore. They harassed me in there. I canceled my membership. I'm done. I'm done being a part of that.
So my question to you is it exhausting?
Yeah, it
Is it
is.
exhausting going through all of that nonsense?
It's well, okay. When you say nonsense, what do you mean? Like
Well,
fighting for my freedom? Is that what you're calling nonsense?
so I have a good buddy
Uh huh.
who will remain nameless, but he's in Florida, and he is anti. He's an anti-masker. He's like, I'm not wearing a mask. He literally
Bless him.
drives. He literally drives 20 minutes outside of his town so he can go to a store that doesn't
Hmm.
require him to wear a mask.
And I'm the same
And
way.
I'm like, dude, isn't that exhausting? Like, when I say nonsense, I don't mean it in a negative way. I'm just saying like,
Hmm.
it's nonsense in all aspects. Like, I have to wear a mask, I have to do this, I have to do that,
Hmm.
or I can't enter your establishment. And
Yeah.
you're right. It's 100% against, you know, I guess our civil liberties and all that
Yeah.
other stuff. But I look at it, I'm like, I don't have the energy, but I'm one of these people that you're never gonna find me protesting.
Hmm.
I'm never gonna go out there and protest. And my
Well, and
buddy's like, if you don't have a hard line in the sand that you would protest, listen, I care about, and it sounds very terrible, and I hate saying it, but I care about me, I care about my family,
hmm.
and then I care about my friends. I don't care about anything else. So
Well,
and is it wrong? Do I support some of these causes and some of these things?
hmm.
Absolutely. Do
Hmm.
I want racism to end? Absolutely. Do I want pedophiles to go to jail or die or whatever? Sure, absolutely. But I don't have it in me to go ahead and just fucking sit there in whatever weather and march down the street because personally I don't think it's effective. It was effective back in the day
Hmm.
with Martin Luther King and all them, but it's not effective anymore. I think it's more effective to do exactly what you're doing.
well, I don't
Stop
go
stop going to these establishments. Stop
exactly,
doing these things. I think that's
exactly.
effective because you're cutting off their
Hmm.
their business. I don't think it's effective, or I don't think it's right for other people to be like, because I believe this, you should stop going to these places. I hate when people do it, like celebrities, when they say like, boycott this company because they're this. I hate that. Let
Hmm.
people make up their own minds. If you, Becca Hayes, want to do that, by all means do it. But don't, and I'm not saying you personally, but I hate when
Hmm.
like you have these Hollywood elites say like, oh, you shouldn't go to this place because they don't do this, or they supported Trump, or this and that. Like, fuck you. Make up your own decisions. I
Oh,
don't
of
know. That's
course.
just me.
No, I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from. I totally understand your thinking. I used to actually, that used to be my mentality. But let me ask you this question, Jeremy. So you said you care about you, your family, your friends, which is great. It's awesome that I mean, there's some people that don't even care about that. When will it get to a point though that you're like, oh crap, I do have to start speaking up, or I do have to be in that example. Enough is enough. When will it, what is it that do you think it's going to take for you to stand
You
up?
know,
Like, is it when you have guards at your front door saying that you can come and when you can come and leave? Like, when is it? Because, and I'm not saying, yeah, that's extreme, but let me tell you this: history repeats itself, and I'm going to use this comparison, and not a lot of people like this comparison because they're like, how dare you do that? But yeah, let's go to Nazi Germany and let's talk about the Nazis and the Jews. The Jews weren't actually targeted because of their religion. They were targeted because they were free thinkers. They were small businesses. They were thriving. And then all of a sudden, it started with, let's see your papers. And then they would have to show their papers everywhere they go. And then it started, let's put a star on your on your jacket, let's sew a star on there. And then it was like, you can't leave your home at this. Now there's mandates where you can't leave your home past 8 p.m. And now, okay, well, we need to take you to this special camp where we need you to do some work for us. And next, you know, you're in the gas chambers. Yeah, it's a horrific act. And it's really sad that it happened. But do you see what I'm saying? It's a gradual thing. Like before they knew it, they had all their freedom and their liberties taken out from underneath them. I hope we never come to that. And I feel like
Yeah.
being in America, I honestly feel like we won't ever get to that point. But we can prevent that by doing the little things and saying enough is enough at the beginning instead of when it's too late and we're like, oh shit, I should have said something prior to that. That's where my mentality is. And I mean, you're already seeing it happen right now. Now there's certain cruise ships. I think it's the Victoria or the Princess or something like that. There's a couple of cruise ships saying that you can't get on the cruise unless you have been vaccinated. So you have to show a vaccine card, which goes completely against HIPAA laws, by the way. Where the fuck are those? Like all of a sudden these laws are just going out the window like birds. Certain airlines are going to start mandating vaccinations. And next, then, it's just, where does it end?
Well, I mean, you know, I travel for a living for work,
Exactly.
and that's something that I've actually thought about a couple times where I'm like, holy shit, man, like, because I'm all about vaccines. Like I'm never gonna say like you shouldn't get vaccinated. You know, again, that is in my opinion up to whoever is the one getting the vaccination.
It should be, right? Your
I do
choice,
think
right?
that certain ones should be mandatory, right? Like the polio, all the vaccines that you get when you're a baby, I think that are listen, they're there for a reason, right? They're not there to keep the man down. They're not there to put a microchip in your arm or anything else like that. But I do agree with you. Like I don't think I should not be able to fly because I wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
For
Well,
something, and I'm not here to debate, and not with you, but with people that are going to listen to this. I'm not here to debate whether or not the COVID is real. It is. It affects people. I know people I know people that have died from this, but there were underlying conditions. There was a lot of other things that came into play, and I think that it's there's I have a lot of friends that are in the medical field, and some of them say that this is so serious and it's working them to the bone and it's outrageous, and then others say it's no worse than the flu, and it's getting out of hand, that it's locking down everything.
well, those are the ones that aren't being bought
I don't know.
are saying that.
Who the fuck am I?
Yeah. There's a lot of doctors that are actually speaking out, thank goodness, right now that are saying
Yeah.
how the CDC mandates them to, whether you die in a car wreck 4 months after being in the hospital due to supposedly COVID, you died of COVID. Like the numbers are completely incorrect. And
Yeah.
it's just, when you have all this excuse me, when you have all this error and you have a vaccine that's available to the public to take when it hasn't even had the correct trials and studies done, my mind's blown that people are even lining up to take this. And then you, like you said, you had people that you've known that has passed away from this vaccination. Yes, they had underlying health conditions, but I know people that were completely healthy that did pass away from this vaccination. And so it blows my mind that all these errors are coming out and people are still accepting it. It's like they're saying 5 plus 5 is 100. Like there's no logic or sense behind it. And a lot of people are waking up. That's why I strongly believe it won't ever get to that extreme point, hopefully, that I've talked about doing the comparison with Nazi Germany. But
Right.
you need to ask yourself, though, it comes to that question, when is enough is enough? When will it ever be enough for you to finally be like, okay, this is really out of control, but is it going to be too late?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you there. Like, I saw not the comparison to Nazi Germany, but I saw the comparison from us to Venezuela, where Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the world, right? Oil rich and all that stuff. And I think it was like 20 years in the making, or 10 years. I don't remember how long it was, but they went from one of the richest countries in the world to, one of the poorest, where they can't even take care of their people, and it's becoming like a huge issue. And I have a couple friends from Venezuela, that are in Miami, where they still have family there, and they're like, it's so bad. It is so bad, and that does scare me a little bit. I hope that we are not smarter. I don't want to say that, but I hope that we're smart enough to see the differences that these other countries make, and course correct. But it does scare me, like I'm not a very, like, I don't like talking about politics, because
Well, and I don't either. Believe it or
too many
not,
people,
I actually hate it.
too many people would judge you based off your
Yeah,
politics,
of
and not
course.
based off of the person, and that
Yeah.
bothers me to no
Yeah.
end. Because
But
I'm a great person, so it doesn't matter if I'm a
yes.
Democrat or a Republican. You should judge me based off of me.
But just know this,
And I
Jer-
have a lot of friends that are like, I can't believe, you don't side with this person, or you side with this person, or you do this. I've had conversations with friends where they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm a registered independent, because I think both sides are fucking morons.
Agreed with you. I completely agree. But I will tell you this, and I agree with you that I don't even know, my train of thought just went out the window. But I will tell you this: just keep this in mind. When you're not speaking, you are also speaking. That is also showing your side, and what you think, what you believe in, and what you're for. So just think, just because you're not saying anything and you're not down in the streets protesting, you still are technically speaking your piece by not speaking. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
In a
I see what
way,
you're saying
in a
there.
way. So just
Yeah,
people will be like, well, I stay out of it. I don't do this. I just comply. I wear the mask. Well, you wearing the mask in the stores, you're still speaking. That's a big action. Because when
yeah,
I don't wear masks in the stores anymore. And if they harass me, I never shop there again. And they've lost my business. And if this mask thing does ever go away, I will remember who mistreated me. And a lot of people will remember how they were treated in those business owners' stores. But by me, and I've had people come up and give me a hug for not wearing a mask. Like, it speaks loudly by just not even saying anything, whether you're
right.
wearing one or not. So keep that in mind. I'm not trying to, like, call you out or anything, but I'm just letting you know, when you're not saying something, you are still speaking.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I wear one of those neck gaiters, and I have Instant Journeyman plastered all over it. So I don't mind wearing it, because I advertise the hell out of my
Well, there you
podcast.
okay.
And I was just
Whatever
at Tim
floats your
Hortons the
boat.
other day. I was just at Tim Hortons the other day,
Uh-huh.
and the guy's like, "What is this? I like it." I was like, so I told him all about it. He's like, "This is awesome." So
Right on.
maybe I got a follower from that. So
Oh,
we'll
well,
see.
I'll wear the hat. I won't wear a mask, so you can send
Yeah,
a hat.
I'm gonna send you a hat. But I want to thank you for your time. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you got kids. You told them, like, hey, go use a chair, get it.
Well, he wanted marshmallows, so I'm like, get the freaking chair. And
So-
there he is. Like, you said I said
I
marshmallows.
had 99 marshmallows.
You better not have 99 marshmallows. It's just like, gosh,
Maybe one.
marshmallows is like crack in our house. Like, you say the word marshmallows, all of a sudden they come out from, like, underneath the rugs and, like, the floorboards. There they are. But yeah,
What's
Mom
up,
life.
buddy? Which one's that?
that was Boston, my oldest.
Boston. Nice.
No, he's a hoot.
Did you name your kids after where they were conceived, or was that just a name you liked?
No, I don't even want to think about conceiving them. then that means I have to think about the other dude. Ugh. Ugh. Gross.
Well, I would expect some of your kids to be named Toyota then, because you're probably in the back of a Toyota.
See, that would make more sense, actually. And actually, I think you might be even right, because we do have Toyotas. It could have. I mean, you're not far off, Jeremy. I mean, were you there that night? Like,
Jesus. I think it was on your OnlyFans. That's why I know it.
Oh, you did subscribe. No. Caught. You're caught. No, yeah. Good times. Good times. But yeah, so.
All right. So, well, I thank you again, and we'll end it there.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
The Becka Hays Club. Sign up today. No, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Sign up tomorrow.
Sign up tomorrow. Jeremy will share the link with everybody because I know you're all so excited.
I will get that link out.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy.